So in the SMA community, our major nonprofit, I mean, it's founded, it was called Families of SMA. Pretty good name, and then it became Cure SMA, and that upset a lot of people because it created this sort of cure-based mentality that has it had effects that are kind of observable. In the time that I've been with it, since the change, I've noticed that a lot more parents are very cure-focused, which is fine, but it kind of makes them anxious, I think, when raising their children, and it becomes sort of a put all your chips on curing and none on raising them as they are. And if you don't get the cure, it's like all for naught.
Well,
And you have to sort of be open-minded enough to accept the fact that, your kids can have a disability. And, hopefully someday they might not, but in the meantime, they have to live a life. So you have to think about that and prepare for that. And
so this would be
yeah,
my
Uh,
choose. This is
yeah.
my thoughts on that. I think you could do both. I mean, I think yes, you should not just be like sitting, staring at the news, waiting for cures to come out. But I also, I mean, you should still live your life and whatever. Probably under the assumption that there won't be one until there is, but I don't think trying to find one is bad. Especially, I think it's more focused in the current day and age because we're actually within the realm of possibility to do that now. So I think we're put more resources in there because it's like, we're almost there. Like 50 years ago, it was just about quality of life because there was no real. I mean, no one even knew what DNA was.
I
You
think
know?
the fascinating thing about this is with SMA, there are a couple of treatments that are out, and I feel like I'm pretty aware of the disabled community and different perspectives in that community, and I haven't seen any groups of people with SMA like outrage that a treatment exists, and people are taking it. So that's fascinating to me.
it is. I think in a perfect world, things would be kind of like the way David described them, where you sort of balance your focus. I mean, you can be focused on a cure, and you can be focused on programs for just living life as a person, a teen, an adult, whatever, with a disability. But at least within the SMA community, that's not really what we're seeing. I think we're seeing it really swing in one direction. And I'm not saying there aren't programs for adults with SMA in Cure SMA. There certainly are. But there's just an overwhelming focus, I would say, on, well, and mostly it's because the pharmaceutical companies for these drugs are some of the biggest backers for these nonprofit companies
Yeah, well,
in terms of donations.
just to finish that point up, I think, yeah, don't go one direction. Don't go the other direction either. All the way, like, it does need a balance. But I also think, like, over the last 30, 40 years, different organizations, disability advocacy groups, the work they've done has accomplished things. It's gotten to a point where care, quality of life, and employment, even all this stuff, has sort of been improved and put in place where there doesn't have to be that as much focus on that. Like, think of the time before the ADA or 503, the Rehabilitation Act, or even like, all this new employment workforce discrimination
Right,
laws.
right. I
It's,
get John's concern about like being afraid to get away from that too much. There's a lot of progress is being made, and if it's halted for the sake of just research, then it's a problem.